I made a box. Nothing special, it's just a box. It's smaller than I initially thought I might make it, but it can sit on a bench top. It's only 500 mil tall, half meter tall. Should be fine, I think. And to go inside the box, we have that, which will sit down inside. And then the vacuum motors, I'll reuse their own casing. See how that goes? I'll just clip onto there. And in theory, because this will flip upside down, so this will go down inside the box. And that'll sit a couple 100 mils up, and the motors will just hang. And the top cavity will be vacuumed out. So I got that far. And just a couple holes there. And not cranking those screws all the way down to deform the plastic or anything. They're just enough to compress that white gasket there and hold it in place. Obviously it could possibly, if enough vacuum was formed on the inside, it could draw air from around the screw back through the from behind the motor. It could go back through the screw head, past the gasket, because the gasket's around the outside of the screws. It could go through there and back up through there and create a leak through the screw heads. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to create that much vacuum, but you never know. And of course there's spaces there for 2 more motors should we need them, but guess we'll find out. Let's attach the motors. Hang test. Good. Number 2. Almost. Kind of lined up. What do we got there? Oh yeah, there we go. And by their nature, if there was a bit of a gap, these things are going to pull themselves closer into the seal just by the suction they form, so they're kind of self-encouraged to seal, but that is kind of snugly in there. If I put it in the right spot, should fit inside the box. This should fit down inside the box. I wanted to have, you know, both opposite corners, but the wood that I had a hole in it that I had 2 holes like that I had to get rid of. I could have plugged them up, I suppose, but I figured if this incorporates that enough and this is behind the seal, it won't matter. This one was able to take out the hole, but that's fine, is what it is. Then that'll sit down. What's that stuck on? It will sit down in there. It sits down this way. Pretty sure. Okay, we'll deal with that in a moment. But that goes down in there. It should be somewhat snug. Like that. And then we'll pop some screws in through the sides to hold that in place. So I just had a thought. I really shouldn't be screwing into the vacuum chamber from the outside, because that creates a hole which could be another ingress of air. I'm going to have to put ledges, little shelf sections, supports on the inside. I can screw them in this way as long as I don't break a hole right through, and then this board can sit onto the ledges, and then we'll screw that down onto the ledges and hold that in place that way. That would make it a lot better. And then all I need to do to kind of seal this against the walls would be to just pump silicone around the sides. I'm thinking we'll do something like that all the way around, or some, I think I've got quite a gap. My skill sawing wasn't very precision. What I should have done is cut it bigger than I needed and then planed it down to exact fit sizes, but that requires extra tools that I don't have. But we'll see how this goes. I should probably take a moment to mention the previous video. The fact that I used Vero board or perf board, or however you want to call it, for AC mains voltage. And some of you might be thinking, well, that's kind of risky, isn't it? The copper strips are very close together. Well, I did carve out a big area around those connections, so have no fear. There's no chance of a voltage jumping the gap where it shouldn't. And perhaps one thing I've never done is actually make a PCB, so this could be a good segue to using some of these online PCB manufacturers and draw up a design and get it done. I mean, hell, you guys have all seen the continuous sponsored ads of such crowds, so you might as well give them a shot, right? Don't hold your breath. Get it going, and then we'll decide. I've come up with a different idea. What I'm going to do, instead of putting like shelf edges to sit it on, I thought I'd go basic and just stick a couple of screws there in each side. That'll hold the shelf in place, and there and there and there. And then because I'm just going to fill it with silicone around the edge anyway. I mean, if it doesn't work, we can reevaluate, but I haven't got anything to cut up bits of wood to make edges with at the moment, so let's grab the motor shelf and sit it in and just sort of get a feel for it. Let me just rotate it like that and like that. It doesn't really matter what way it goes in, it can only go in two different ways, and it's not that way, so it's going to have to be, we'll go that way. And in theory this should slot down in between, yep, like that, and it's like that, and then like that. It's just kind of yep, like that. She's pretty snug. Well, it's definitely not going anywhere, that's for sure. It's pretty good. There's a bit of a but. But I may have to remake that edge. If I just come around here, get some daylight going on. So there's the sort of gaps I'm dealing with. I suppose silicone could fill that up. It's pretty crazy though. I mean, I cut the side walls much better. And that's alright, but up that side there's a bit of a large gap. A whoopsie large gap. So I may need to redo that. I mean, that's assuming that these walls are like perfectly square. I mean, they can't, they're pretty long, they kind of, I guess they'd self-align. I definitely need to recut that, which is a shame. Now it's got the holes and everything attached and lined up. But that's where that's at, and then of course this one will go on the top side and hopefully that pulls up. And with the top side on, that fits really well, and there's very little gap there, so it's really just those sides. Once it's got its walls attached all around, it squares itself up, and it's actually amazingly bad but amazingly even. It pulls it straight. It looks like the gap's pretty even all the way up, so that's interesting. You know, if I had a garage, I'd have a saw bench, I'd have all the cool tools, but I don't. So it's almost worth going and cutting another bit where I could, but I'm in a hurry, I want to see it go. But I do need to mount the electronics and put a hole for the vacuum line to go into. So I've mounted the motors and a couple of other bits. What I've got is the transformer that is used for finding the zero crossing point, and our mains cable off to the primary of that. But I've also got this little AC adapter, 12 volt adapter, which I've run wires into and teed off the mains input there. So I've got a 12 volt output to our controller. We have the boards with the triacs for controlling the motor speed, and then the little circuit that I made up there for the interface between that and the controller. And of course the vacuum line coming down into the box that goes off to the controller as well. For sealing the center panel, I ended up running a bead of silicone down on the outside edge of this board, and once that is set, just clamp the side panels back onto it. These sides are very tight, these sides, so I haven't actually put silicone there, but I did run down the other two. If not already shown, I have a bead of silicone around this top edge, and what I'm going to do now is just put the lid on, screw it down, and we will run a test to see how much vacuum we can pull as it sits. So I've modified the program so that I can run it manually and see how much vacuum it can pull, instead of having it at a set point and blowing itself to pieces trying to achieve that, or blowing the house fuse, because I think this is 2 motors is still too much on one outlet, but here we go. So I turn them on, we're at the slowest or maximum delay we can. So if I turn them on, so at the slowest speed we're pulling almost -1 kilopascals. So let's speed it up. I can hear the wood creaking as it's like sucking itself inwards. Let's hope it doesn't implode. So that's at like half power. So that was holding a pretty good vacuum, so it must have quite a good seal there. I thought I'd better stop it because being a vacuum there's no airflow and those motors are just going to get hot. You know, they're just going to get hot. Maybe if I run them for a bit at low speed without creating a vacuum, it might allow them to circulate a bit of air. At least with a pipe in the top, it's going to be drawing air in constantly, so we know that that's going to keep them cool. That was probably a bit much, but there we go. Yeah, well, we see that that works. So now if I put the original program back in and set at a level of vacuum, it should automatically get up to there and maintain it. So let's do that. So with the new program, when I turn it on, it should start slow and ramp up and maintain a -5 kilopascal I've set it to. Here we go. Well, I messed that one up. I meant -10. Let's do that again. I've actually changed the speed at which it adjusts, so it should be a bit more gradual. But let's see, because obviously removing the air isn't an immediate process. So here we go. Oh yeah. So there was no overshoot there. Right, I've actually made it more aggressive than it was, so we're adding 10 microseconds rapidly, however quickly it takes to cycle through the code until it reaches that. So let's see what it does on. Okay, so you saw there how it was cycling up and down. It wasn't very stable. Obviously we need, it's too aggressive, so I think I was at 5 microseconds. So we'll put it on that and it should be a bit better. Okay, one more time. Okay, proof of concept as far as that goes. Now we just need to put a big hole in the top. I have silicon adapter for the airflow meter, so that's going to hang in under the lid like that. We'll have a bit of pipe in there like that, a bit of pipe in the top like that, and then that's going to come up through the board, and then we'll have that stuck on top like that with the board in between, and we can stick our carby straight in the end there, or further reduce it, or whatever we have to do.